Annemarie here with IPT Fitness. First take at Just Live Gym. Before we get started, guys, I'd like to tell you, please check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and also at the end of this video, subscribe to our channel. You'll enjoy it. We'll give you tons of varieties of workouts, tutorials, nutrition information, all that good stuff. So subscribe at the end of the video. Let's get started, guys. Today we're going to work in lunges, and Ron's going to be behind the camera and he'll tell you about it, and I will demonstrate. Let's get started, Ron.
All right, guys. The reason we're going to cover lunges is squats are good. All due respect to the lunge or to the squats, but we feel some girls feel that their legs balloon up, and they get this great development of the quad, and their butt is flat, and their thighs are not thinning out. So a good solution is work on your lunges. So the first lunge we're going to do is a stationary lunge in position. Good. As she lunges down, both legs are going to 90 degrees, but more important is that front shin bone stays over that heel. Good. 3 sets of 10 to 15 is plenty. Good. Now she can progress into a front lunge. And with weight or body weight, it doesn't really matter. Okay? Good. Make sure you don't push off as you go back to the neutral position. That's bad on your patellar tendon. Good. And the next variation is a rear lunge. This one's a great problem solver if you have knee issues. Go backwards. Okay, and it gives you another variety. When we train athletes, we want to make sure we go in all directions. Good. You can use dumbbells, you can use a bar, you can even use a medicine ball. Now, the next thing, she likes dumbbells. Dumbbells are going to give you the most stimulus for your central nervous system. Your next one is going to be a lateral lunge. So she's going to go out, one leg remains straight as the other one goes out into a seated position. Imaginary stool as you're sitting on the stool and tapping it with your butt. Good. Now the next variety is moving laterally but going into a side squat. So it's not a true lunge in essence, but it's moving that leg out into a squatted position. Good. So it gives you another variety, especially on those inner thighs. Good. And if you want to address those. All right, the next variation is going to be a 15-degree angle out to the front and 15 degrees to the left. And I feel a lot of the girls will say they do feel this on their inner thighs a little more.
Yes, definitely, I do.
And the great thing about the hips is that they rotate. You want to take advantage of that hip rotation. They're the only muscle groups, or one of the few, that do circumduction. Your next thing is going to be hip rotation into a curtsy. It's almost like bowing to the crowd. Good. And this is great for working that posterior chain or the butt, if that's your target. Good. Weights or no weights, and again, or a medicine ball. Now, if lunges aren't your thing, or you're a little achy from doing spin or some other cardiovascular running Rocky Hill, then you want to set the weights down and you want to work on step-ups. So instead of going down, we can work on going up. So the step I like to use is about 3 risers, 4 risers high. Good. Coach is going to demo. So you can do traditional step-ups. Good. Or we plant one foot on top and we work one side at a time. Good. And she's doing a glute extension on the left side. Good. So if you want to get classy, good, and work that posterior chain while you do your step-ups, you can do that as well. Now, the other ones you can do is a step-up with a high knee. Plant the foot and drive that knee. Good. This is a great one. We use this one for athletes. Good. That's a knee drive, especially if they do layups, volleyball. There you go. Now the next one is she'll plant the foot on top. She'll come up with a high knee, but add some dynamic force to that, and it almost looks like a skip. Good. And that's definitely for our athletes. But you can do that at home as long as you're safe with that. Now she can come to the front. She can also apply what's called a Bulgarian lunge. A Bulgarian lunge, I see people constructing, the back foot has to be super high, super low. It can be whatever's comfortable and your flexibility of your hip flexor. Good, that's your Bulgarian lunge. Good, weights, no weight bar, it's up to you. Now you can also apply plyometric force to this. So you come up with a little bit of force, good, and plant that foot. Now, that's an advanced movement. If you have issues with your knee, a condition with your knee or kneecaps, then you don't want to do this, or meniscus partial tear, don't do this. It will really irritate that, okay? Now, from there, she can also do a hip up. She stands sideways to the bench, and the base foot has to be really close to the bottom there. And she's going to, there you go, and parallel. And she's going to come up, straighten that hip out, and then lower. It's called deceleration. Good. Runners, you should be doing this. Good. Way before you have hip issues. Good runners, dancers, bicyclists, Zumba, you name it. All right, so that's your hip up. Your next one, or the other thing we want to demonstrate is what's too high. And so you see trainers, they're elevating the box until it's in the ceiling. So if she goes over, well, go back to the first one, let's show them, and go sideways just a little bit. Good. So you'll notice the knee is well below the hip. Good, so she's able to apply that force of the quad and the hamstring and drive into the step. Now when you go a little higher, if you already have knee issues, now the knee is above the hip. Now you're asking your biomechanics to change themselves and bring that base foot a little closer. Your left foot. The base foot. That's your base foot. So now the knee is a little bit better, but the alignment is still high. So if you have problems, touch the front of your knee. Good. Right there. You can see that imaginary. It's called a shearing force. You're going to have to make sure you push evenly through that footing. Come up. And there's a slight leaning forward. So one, if you have knee issues or if you have a back issue, it's going to talk to you after doing step-ups with too high. And again, you see trainers saying, stack the box to the ceiling and do step-ups. You got to respect that knee joint. You got to respect that low back. Now, another option, if you want a variety, is grabbing a bazoo. And this one encourages balance. So it's going to add another component to this. So you can do the step up. Good. There's your aerobic, folks. You plant one foot on. And step up. There's your extension. And she's going to do the high knee. Good. And then she can lift the base foot into rocking horse. That's one of my favorite. And that kills a lot of birds with one stone. Good. She can stand on the side, offset. And she can squat down and then do a leg kick out to the side laterally. Good. Dancers, athletes, change of direction. Good. If you get tripped up during sports. Bulgarian lunge to the front. Good. Same thing. Nice and stationary. So you can also add the dynamic part to that. Explosively come up. Good. And time. So a lot of different lunges. Take a look at them. You know, reverse this tape, fast forward, whatever you got to do, find the things that work for you, apply them. But if you need more information or need one of us to instruct you through these, we can. You know, if there's something that's kind of got you off, you're like, oh, that hurts me, talk to us first before you totally eliminate that, and we'll help you, okay?
Yes, guys. Again, check us out. You'll find very valuable information today, like I said, with lunges, Ron, different varieties of everything. If you have any questions, like Ron said, check us out on Facebook and IG.
See you guys later.